are at HP Imagine, and this morning the company released the latest iteration of the Work Relationship Index. And Annalise is going to help me make sense of some of the data. There were some really interesting data. I was excited on one hand about really starting to get proof that AI makes a positive impact on our daily work, and disappointed that the human side is still behind a little bit in really trying to, and by that I mean leaders, in really empowering employees to do their best work. Tell me what you took away from kind of the top level numbers on these two facets of work.
Sure. I mean, it's interesting when we look at the year-on-year change. People are using AI a lot more now. Almost 3 in 5 knowledge workers are using AI this year versus just a year ago. And so when we look at those folks who are using AI, they are starting to customize and personalize their work experiences by using AI. About 65%, so definitely a majority, are having this different type of work experience as flexibility is kind of being built into what they're doing. We also see people who have access to tools and technology using AI are actually 5 times more likely to stay with the companies and be more fulfilled in the kind of work that they do. And so this, both the hybrid work and the nature of the AI tools, as well as the ability to personalize and have that flexibility, is really important, and the majority of people are moving in that direction. I think that, to your point, the flip side is you look at tools, you look at skills, you look at workspaces, you also then look at leadership and fulfillment, and how does that impact people's work experience. And 90% of business leaders know that empathy and EQ is important, but only 44% have confidence that they know how to work with their employees that way. And employees have expectations. At least 70% of employees say empathy and EQ and all of this important piece to my work experience needs to be high and important on the list, but they're only seeing it 28% of the time from their leaders. And so you see this kind of gap that needs to be closed. The technology tools are starting to change and evolve, and people are having positive experiences with those. The human side actually also has some gaps to close, and ultimately, if you're going to unlock people's potential, employees' potential, a workforce's potential, you need both the tech and the human side to come together.
Yes, and empathy is the one thing that AI cannot deliver, so we need to rely on our leaders to be able to do that. One part of the data set that was not a surprise to me, and I'm sure it wasn't a surprise to you, is how much better women fare when it comes to empathy and really having a more tailored and personalized approach to leadership. What does the data show?
The data shows actually all around the world that I mentioned that only 44% of leaders feel confident in their skills around EQ and empathy. When you look at the differences between men and women, women are 15 points higher confidence level when it comes to using these human skills. And again, it could be around empathy, communication, self-awareness, and the confidence that's there. Some of that comes from who they are and the practice, I think, in terms of what this is. But again, it's the importance of both skills and activation with humans that are ultimately going to unlock people's potential. And I think the fact that men and women have that difference doesn't surprise me, but it does give something for everybody to aspire to.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that is so important going forward. The last thing I want to underline is the need for personalization, and I think that really stems from the pandemic and how everybody went home and created their own space and environment. And now we're back in the office and we're struggling a little bit with that move. But there's a lot more than choosing your PC that makes for a personal experience.
Absolutely. When we think about the future of work, it is definitely hybrid, and it is definitely personal, and it's human. So we strive to give that ubiquitous experience no matter where someone is working. And so yes, tools is obviously a piece to this, but it's also the ability to work where and when people want. And people want the ability that if you're in meetings, every meeting now, rarely is it all digital or all face-to-face. It's some combination of all of those things. So how does everyone feel their voices heard? How do you have meeting equity, right? And how people feel about their work, they're able to contribute no matter where they're doing that. And given that flexibility to do the kind of work they want, where and when they want it, is what we're seeing the utmost importance. And interestingly enough, it is not just a Gen Z thing.
Oh, absolutely.
We see the data across all generations where everybody can see a more personalized, flexible work experience will both help them with career growth opportunities, will help them feel more fulfilled, and ultimately deliver their best work, which is what we should all and what we all want, actually, as an outcome.
You and Alex talked about it this morning, that it starts with the employees and empowering them to do their best work.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for stopping by and telling us more about the WRI.
You bet. Thank you so much.